actually sure if you guys can hear it, but this is a new track by Michael Oyo. Marianne, Hannah, thank you for joining in already. This song is titled My Side by My Side. This guy is taking an old classic, Nigerian classic, and hey, FL, nice to see you, man. And it's turning into something awesome. I mean, walking with me now. Hey, and this is all UK. My guest is here. Constance, you're here. I'm gonna bring you up in a second, but woo, by my side, by my side. I'm not sure if you can hear, but hey, by my side, by my side. I have a very big God who is always by my side. A very big God by my side, by my side. It features called out music as well for those who. Now that's a cool song, well produced song as well. Well, hey, it is Fact of the Matter Tuesday, and we are back. You know, I want to adjust myself slightly. Hold on a second, my camera even. All right, so I'm not raising my head too high. How have you been? How are you people? How are you all doing out there? I tell you, it's always great to be back on the Tuesday. Chinedu, Anon, thank you for joining in. I really appreciate you guys, coming in. Last week, we had 2 guests. Well, unfortunately, because Instagram is not able to allow more than 1 or 2-way conversation, we're not able to have 3-way. But I had 2 guests, one after the other, where we talked about this expression that was coined by my previous guest, Toye Olayinka, who just in passing mentioned like sexy pastors, and then we went on to it just carried on from there, where we spoke of, or discussed rather, what influence, what impact pastors dressing, their persona, their carriage, what impact that has on the congregation. And it was very interesting. And then it filtered down to last week, where I had the all-female guest, because we spoke from a male perspective the week before, but last week, I had 2 female guests, and they spoke of things from a woman's perspective as well. And I was like, does that mean ladies? Because usually you will say, oh, Constance, it allows 3 people now. Okay, you need to teach me how that is done, so I can. Oh wow, that'd be lovely, because maybe in a couple of weeks' time, we want to discuss. I would like us to discuss something. I'll bring guests in for us to discuss, platonic relationships, like a married man or married woman. Thank you all for joining in. For me, Dr. My sister, for me, thank you for joining in. Just Winnie, thank you for joining in. Like, is it all right for a married man or woman to have a platonic friendship with either a married or unmarried other friend and be nothing but friends? Is it okay? I mean, can I have a female friend who, that's all, we chat, we talk, maybe it's business, maybe it's music industry, maybe it's harmless other talk, and that should be okay, without the fear of an affair following through, or without getting my wife suspicious of anything, or anything. Is it okay, or should you just, once you're married, you stay clear of other relationships? So that's what I'm gonna bring up some, maybe a couple of weeks down, and it'll be great to have a 3-way conversation, so I can have input from a male and a female person. That would be lovely. So I need to look into how that is done. Cool. So now, my guest for today, she has been an amazing fan of the show. She's a fan of the show that comes up. She joins in every Tuesday, and she is not a silent listener. She participates, she comments, she appreciates, she has left wonderful messages, and then she herself being a gospel artist, a recording gospel artist in the UK. She's done backing vocals for quite a wide range of artists ranging from, both from the gospel and the secular side of music. She's done background vocals for Revelation Avenue, Honors Ario, Tim Godfrey, Sonny Badu, Gabriel Eziashe, Sinach, Don Moen, Michael Stampley, Gloria, Nathaniel Bassey, and then she's performed for the Queen and the former Prime Minister Tony Blair. We have a star in our midst. Wow. Guess what? It doesn't end there. She sang as part of the Revelation Avenue Choir for Britain's Got Talent. Britain's Got Talent. And also, she sang with Diversity, One Direction, Beverly Knight, the legendary Beverly Knight, live Broadway shows, The Lion King. We have a star in our midst today, everybody. So, but this lady, with all of this, she is a worship leader and a lover of God at heart. And I'm honored that she's going to be my guest today. So I'm going to bring her on now so we can have a good chat. Tuesday has become has come to stay, really, and I can't believe I can't. And there she is. Constance is in the house.
Uncle Wole!
How you doing?
Uncle Wole!
It's been a long
Hello,
time
sir.
coming. Yeah, I'm well.
Long
I'm well.
time.
I know. How you doing?
I'm good, sir. We thank God. We thank God.
Oh, great stuff. Great stuff. I see
Yeah.
you all over Instagram anyway. I think you own Instagram now.
Hmm.
You must have shares in Instagram
Not
or something.
really, sir. Not really. Not really, sir.
Really? Oh
I
wow. Okay.
try. I try.
You
My
try.
husband is the pro. My husband is the
Uh,
pro, but I
yes,
just try.
I was just about to say that your husband has taken over Instagram. He
Pretty much.
I mean, every second scroll is your husband. G sticks. Every second scroll is
Yes.
G sticks. Every second.
Pretty
But at least,
much.
yeah,
Pretty
great.
much.
Thank God he is. It's he's putting out good quality stuff, and even when
Oh
he
yeah.
shows his funny dance because he dances.
Oh
His
yeah.
dance is
Yeah.
unprecedented.
Definitely, definitely.
That,
It's a snippet of what he does at home. So,
no kidding. I can imagine that. Well, that's great because that means your home is a home of joy. It's a lovely house. There's no.
amen. Amen.
I mean, I'm not
Amen.
even praying. I'm saying what it is. It is what
Okay,
that's
all
what it
right.
is.
Yes, it is, honestly. Here's my
Wow,
son.
wow. In fact, you know what? We're gonna
Yes,
turn this
sir.
thing on its head. Since we started, is that one of your children behind you?
That is my son, yeah. Get down, get down.
It's so cool. Listen,
Oh,
you know my daughter's jumped in this recording a few times where I had to like.
I know. It's so exciting to see her always. I'm just like, oh, she's so
Yeah,
cute.
she's actually next door. And I've told her not today. She's not coming today, but she's next door.
Oh,
Right.
wow. Amazing.
Okay, so let's flip them.
Amazing.
How did you meet, you and your husband? How did you guys meet?
Oh, Uncle, it's like you like gist. You like gist.
That's what
You're one
that's
of
what it's
those.
about. That's what the talk
Okay.
is about.
Right. So that's quite interesting. So we both met doing the things that we do now. So I was
Yeah.
at an event to do some background vocals, and he
Okay.
was at and it was a worship event, and he was there to play the drums. And
Right.
yeah, for some reason I heard him play for the first set of praise and worship. And I just like,
And you
wow,
were
this drummer
moved.
is amazing. I've not
You,
heard him.
you were moved in the
I
spirit.
what happened, what I did was I thought, oh, this I like the way he plays the drums. Maybe
Okay.
he can teach one of our drummers at the church I was at then, which was a smaller church then. And
Right.
so I put my phone by the drums and I recorded him playing the drums.
Right.
There was a socket there, so I was charging my phone and I was also recording him playing the drums. And
Right.
then on the way out, my sis Toby Lover, she introduced us. She was like, "Oh, this is my friend," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And
Hold on. Did you
I
say
don't.
Toby Loba?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The one and
We
only Olua Toby Loba?
Yes, yes, and who else as well? Who else was
Oh
there?
wow.
Shabak, Uncle Shabak as well. So
Right.
I think it was we knew the same people, but I didn't really
Sure.
know him, and I think at
Right.
that time I didn't know he was that particular person. So it was kind of like a
Right.
reintroduction,
Sure.
and yeah,
Sure.
we just became friends from there. Really, that was pretty much it. We became friends. I wasn't single at the time.
Oh, right. Okay.
But we were friends. But we were
Right.
friends,
Okay.
and then when I was then single, then we became even closer friends. And then yeah, just from there, really, that was
And
pretty
here
much
we
how it
are.
built.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting. That's interesting. And how long have you
yeah.
been
We
married
became
now?
friends.
How long have you been
Almost
married?
9 years, 8 years so far. Almost 9 years.
Wow.
So
Well
to God be the
done.
glory.
Wow.
Ain't no
And he's
joke.
still playing. It's not a joke. 7 years and he's still playing, you still singing. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Lovely stuff. And
absolutely,
how many kids you got? Like
absolutely.
five, six? How many children have you got? Like five, six?
Oh, ha, ha.
I'm just asking. I
Two,
don't know.
please.
Only
I'm not
two.
collecting anymore. Just two. Just
Why
two.
now? Why? The earth needs to
Um,
replenish. Why just two? Don't be
see,
wicked now.
just
Come on.
two, just two. I have a girl and I have a boy. You see, we
Okay.
have one of each. So what
So you have
more are we see the see
you need
dishes?
an equalizer.
So,
That's a baby girl right there. Hello, baby girl. How you
hi,
doing?
hi, uncle.
You're right.
Hi, uncle.
How you doing, baby? You're right.
I'm fine, thank you. She can't hear you because I've got my headphones in.
Oh, right. Mwah, mwah.
Ah,
Okay, it's all right. It's all right. She
yeah,
can stay there. That's cool. All right, cool.
that's
Well,
cool.
maybe she's giving you the signs that she needs a younger one. Maybe that's usually what happens when
Two,
they
but
come.
now she's starting to understand. She used to.
No, she doesn't understand. No, just give her a younger one. Yeah. Oh, you're scrolling. Your screen is frozen a bit. Okay. All right. Cool. Right. So okay, let's roll it back. You, Constance Jones. We want to know a little bit
Thank you,
more
sir.
about you. Cool.
Yes, sir.
So,
Thank you for having me
family
on here.
background. You're welcome. It's great. Family background. Are you an only child? Are you a first child? Are you the first daughter? Are you the second daughter? Are you the last born? Are
I
you
I'm the firstborn, and the only girl. So yeah,
wow?
so of three. So yeah, so
Ah,
there's three of us,
two
two younger
brothers.
brothers, and I'm the firstborn. Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
That's that must have been like a responsibility of sorts.
It was.
Okay.
Now it's more so that they're taken over now. They're taller than me, and so they're the men of the house now. But I mean, obviously, growing up, definitely a responsibility. I was the first to start sort of working in my household as well for quite a few years.
Wow.
So it was, yeah, a huge responsibility. I sacrificed a lot. When my friends would travel and, go to certain things, I would be working on the weekdays and the weekend.
Wow.
Um, yeah, yeah,
Oh wow. Was
yeah.
that here in the UK?
Yeah,
Were
in
you
the
born
UK.
here? Grew everything here? Okay,
Born,
wow.
yeah, born in
Okay,
Manchester, born in
okay.
Manchester, and then raised in London.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Nigerian heritage, obviously,
Yeah.
and
I was
Ijo,
coming to that. Yeah.
right? Ijo is
Ijo from Ijo. Right.
tribe.
You
That's
do
my
look like an
tribe.
Ijo girl. Anyway, you do look like an Ijo.
Person to say this. Everyone believes I'm from Ghana. Ghana.
Really? Don't
Yeah,
mind them.
yeah. So
They were not
you're the
looking with the
first
eye of
person.
the spirits.
Yeah, yeah.
To be in the spirit. I don't know what
Oh,
spirit they in, but in the eye of the
I
spirit.
don't know. I don't know, but maybe because my man of God then was a Ghanaian, he's Ghanaian anyway. So maybe they just thought, oh, she's in. You know how people
Right.
kind of assume that if you go to a church and the pastor is from Ghana, then they believe it's a Ghanaian church. Or if you go to church where the pastor is Nigerian, oh, it's a Nigerian church. So I think it was that
Yeah.
kind of. dynamic.
That
That's
kind of
what kind of
okay.
what happened there. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. So what
Interesting, right?
it's very interesting. So does that mean your childhood you never lived any of it in Nigeria? Oh,
Have a very, I would say, God really gave me a gift, and
okay.
the gift is surprising. You're not going to guess what it is, but I say that the Liberty Church was a gift that God
Oh
gave to
no,
me.
I can't hear you. Sorry, say that
Yeah.
again.
Oh
Your
no.
cross.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you
Okay,
hear
okay,
me?
again.
Okay. So what I was saying is that God gave me a gift, and I'm not talking about my singing gift. People are thinking that's what I'm talking about. I'm actually
Okay.
talking about the Liberty Church, London. That was a gift that God gave to me, or is the gift that God gave to me to allow me to um, be able to go to Nigeria. I had never been to
Ah,
Nigeria before
wow. Okay.
because I didn't have a passport to travel, but
All
I had
right.
just never been. But it was through the ministry, through my church ministry, that actually took me to Lagos to lead worship there.
Wow.
And I'll be part of we do, my pastor does this really amazing breakthrough nights that he does them across the globe. So Nigeria,
I think I remember that
Canada,
one. Yeah.
and
Mm,
all. Yeah. So
yeah.
I had the opportunity to go to
Mm.
Nigeria because of that reason. And like I said, it was a gift from God that I never ever expected. It was an unexpected blessing experience. And then from there, I began to go almost twice a year, every year for the past 2, 3 years.
Really? Wow. Oh my. And that's still on the auspices of Liberty Church.
One everything, end to end,
Wow.
through and through. Um, I believe that God really gave Liberty Church to me as a gift, and also Pastor Shola, in the sense that there was a lot of things happening, and the enemy was trying to find a way to make me feel almost distracted or
Right.
unwanted or
Right.
just not ready or overwhelmed. And
Right.
all of a sudden, I decided I'd left my revelation stuff, the other
Yep.
gigs and all
Yep.
that stuff. I'd left that. So I'd left that to do church, serving church,
Right.
in the choir. And I'd
Right.
done that. And somehow it wasn't in my mind what I was expecting, because I started off doing mostly secular and weddings and all those types of things, and
Okay.
then gave my life to Christ, and then started doing more gospel and worship and all of that. So I had it my way was opposite. Usually it's
Okay.
from,
Hold on.
you understand? Yeah.
Does that mean you uh you did not grow up in a Christian home? You were not a Christian. Was it not Christian family?
Catholic, and
Ah,
so that kind of yeah, Catholic, Church of England.
right.
And I wasn't in the choir. I just always had a passion for singing. So I would do plays at school. I would do various different things, but I was not in that type of fire Christian home that's,
I hear you.
most of my
Okay.
friends had. So yes.
Right.
So it was definitely an experience for me. But I think for me, what I expected and what happened was just so different that I didn't know how to process. I was a new mum, so there
Okay.
was also that side that was telling me, oh, you're a new mom, and oh, you have to wait until your children are like 10, 12, 13 before you can start, doing ministry. And it was just all manner of things, all manner of lies.
Wow.
Let me just put that way. But
Wow.
at that time, I was so convinced. I was like, that day, I don't even know what just came over me. I said, me, this is the last day that I'm doing the service. So we had a worship night on a Thursday. I remember this like it was yesterday, because it was the pivotal
Okay.
point and a gift and a warning and all different things at the same time. And I said to our then music director, our then
Right.
worship leader and music director, Pastor Remy Udemisi. I'm sure you know him.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
So I spoke to him and I said, look, sir, this is the last day. I can't do this. This is not, it's not for me right now.
Wow.
I said, this is my last service after today. And we spoke literally till I got to the service, till he got to the service. So there was no way that my pastor would have known our conversation or where my mind was.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, he was leading praise and worship. We were just, the
Right.
service was going on. The next
Right.
thing, Pastor Shola just turns to me, my pastor just turns to me and he gives me his mic to sing and says to Pastor Remy, kind of like, just a second. And this is while service is going on, while the worship is going on. And I was just looking around like, huh? It had never
What's
happened before at that time. It was
wow.
not it never happened.
Right.
That was how I became a worship leader in church. I mean, I'm sure eventually we would have had a process, we would have had different things, but that was how I started leading worship in church. And
Oh
from
wow.
that day, I took it as one, a warning from God, two, a gift from God,
Wow.
and three, God just wanted to just open my eyes to see
Wow.
and to let him, yeah, to let him take control. And that's how
Wow.
from there, then it was the next thing, a year or two later, I think it was a year or two later, a year later, it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, Lagos, Houston, it was, I mean,
Wow.
God just had his own way. And I really, really thank God that I was strong enough, my relationship with him was strong enough for me to know this is a sign from God.
Yeah.
Hold
Yeah.
up. Don't try to manufacture your own destiny because I'm in charge.
Wow.
Hear from me.
Wow. That's
I had
that's
I
interesting.
had no never traveled before. I'd never even been on a plane before.
Wow.
British girl, never been on a plane, never been to the airport. Today you guys are having gist.
Never
Everybody
been
that's
on
here,
a
I see
plane
you, I
before.
greet you. I had never been on a plane before. I had never been to the airport before. See, you guys are having gist here because most people don't know. I don't like to say it because people will be, so you mean you have not been to Nigeria before? You've not been, and when they hear me speak, when I go from my normal English accent to my, what's happening here? Kind of when I
Yeah.
switch, they're like,
You know what? You know
you
what?
know,
Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Okay. I mean, hey, stop.
I'm,
Well, okay. Right. Where do let me see where do I roll back. Okay, first of all, we have a wonderful lady, Angel. Angel was my guest last week, and she's been as ever,
remember
she's been putting
actually.
her a
Hi.
little comment in there. She said we need to reconsider your visa because it being your first time to travel to Nigeria.
No, that was a few years ago then, and obviously now I've been, I think 8 to 10 times now. So,
Woohoo!
so
Wow.
yeah, I'm very much
Wow.
used to Lagos
Wow.
and all that. So I've been to
Okay.
Ikorodu, which was, it was
Okay,
an
wait, wait,
experience
wait,
on its
wait, wait,
own.
wait, 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 wait. You bring you no, no. Okay. Now I'm feeling a little bit ashamed, but hold on. Um right. Where do I even go to? Okay. Um you were contemplating exiting, leaving the. In fact, okay. Oh gosh, where do I start
Not the
from?
church,
Um,
but choir. It was
the choir,
specifically the choir.
the choir.
Um,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Before I come to that, you had come from like a Catholic Church of England kind of set background into the world of Pente rascals, like my pastor will call it
So
sometimes.
I went into like more of like, so I went straight into a Ghanaian church. Well, I don't want to say a
Okay,
Ghanaian church, but let me just say a church. And he's, he prophesied quite a lot. So it was a new experience for me. So I was experiencing, the power and the presence of God, but it was something that was different. Then from there,
wow.
I went to Redeem because I got married, and then I was in a Redeem church with Minister Evans. Evans, the
Evans and
boy.
boy.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I was there. I joined the choir there too.
right,
And I think not I won't say resentment, but I just was trying to figure out where do I fit in? How do I use this gift that God has given me?
right, right.
Look at some of these comments. Let me
Yeah,
focus.
they don't count is it Lion Damijare? Oh, whose comment is
Yes,
it? Oh,
yes.
okay. So somebody say, okay, somebody say that I am you're still better. Let me see. Let's say you're still better than okay, they haven't been to Nigeria since 1995. Debbie, oh Lord have mercy, please. Once the
Wow.
lockdown is over and COVID is over, well, hopefully you have people in Nigeria that can guide you. So Nigeria is not a place to go by yourself if you don't have people there. I trust me, you do not want to do that. You need a guide, you need people there. Okay, we're not talking about Nigeria. Let's leave that one.
Airport is another principality on its own, so let's not
Oh
even
my
go there.
goodness. You
Let's,
know, I
yeah.
just went in September for my mom's burial. So I there's a lot I could say. But it's not about Nigeria today. Okay, right. So let's come to this. You were thinking of leaving the choir. Maybe, you felt a sense of you weren't sure this was for you, da da da. And then the next thing on the your last service to serve within the music department as a chorister, whatever. You were right there, back in worship, doing your stuff. And all of us in the pastor brought his very own mic, which they do not share with others. And he hands it over to you. And then he asks for the current leader to give a minute or so for you to lead.
Literally what happened.
God has a sense of humor. That's all I can say. God,
Does. He
God,
really does. He the way he does this to me sometimes. I mean, even the traveling part. I tell you, I what I did with that one. It was a similar thing. That was my second time of doing that thing. I was like, it's already my birthday. It's already October. My birthday's in October, so I was like, the year's already gone. Well, I
right.
didn't travel this year, God, and I wrote it down in January that okay, I will travel. I will travel this year by the grace of God, and I put it down as my goal. Blah blah blah. By that October, that same year, so I said, I'm not going to travel. The next thing, the email came in, bam, Lagos, Nigeria. I was just like,
Wow.
and
Wow.
I had already said, it's October, it's not December. I've said the year is already done now. At least
Oh
maybe
my
by next
word.
year, I'll have time to save. I'll have time to save. And then
Yeah,
by
yeah,
at least by
yeah.
August, so you know how it is in the UK. You'd be like, okay, let me save towards this. And
It came like a
just
thief
from
in the
that two
night,
weeks
huh?
later, honestly, that 2 weeks and then I now had to run around and find a way to get the Nigerian visa on a
Visa,
British
yeah.
passport. I had less than 2 weeks. I was running around. I said, "Wow, look at me." I would say, just look at God, but just look at me. Imagine I had already. I, I was like, look at me. I think I really respect myself,
Oh
or
my
let me not
goodness.
let me. I'm not the one. I don't know how God
My.
do things, or
You know,
so it was from there. The fire just came. Honestly,
okay.
that was it.
That's okay. You know what? You have very many interest. You pulled crowd anyway. Nikki Finest is here. Nikki Finest.
Yes, my
Yeah.
auntie
The lady,
Nikki.
the lady with the
Love her.
wickedest single
Oh
so far.
yes.
Crazy single. I love the single so much. I've been going to God and say, God, why didn't you give me this song? And God said, what's your own? I give it to whoever I like. But that she's here,
I
you
love
know,
this song. It's literally on repeat. Like I just in my mind, I sing it a lot. I love her
but
riffs, and she's in our church choir as well, so she knows some of the she knows where I'm coming from. But honestly, I think she came the year after this happened, so it's kind of
right.
like a funny story that we always talk about.
This your
Just
church
look at God.
choir is
Just look at
dangerous. So with all you high profile singers
ah,
in the church choir. Chai! Okay,
it's the
when I
glory of
grow up,
God.
I want to
Or
join your choir.
Uncle Wally, see you that you when I met you. Do you know when I met you was I thought it was a day that someone said, "Oh, can you come and do some vocals and come and do some training for a choir?" And as soon as I saw you there, I was like, "I'm not doing it anymore. Uncle Wale is here. Okay, Uncle Wale is here. So don't worry about me. Let me just do BVs." That was how we met. That was actually how we met. You didn't know that though. You
Well,
had no
okay, the first
idea.
time I met you, it was at Freedom House. I believe it
Although
was
I
at
used to
Freedom
come to
House.
KICC, I used to come to KICC, but you never knew me. But that's a different story for another day. But at Freedom House,
You
I was
used to come to
there to do
KIGC
vocals. I did. I gave my life to Christ there.
at KICC.
Yes. And then it was kind of a
Wow.
bit overwhelming as a big church, and you guys and your amazing choir. And so then my friend invited me to the Manor of Grace, and I ended up going there. And then from there, got married, redeemed, and then from redeemed to Liberty Church.
Wow.
Hmm.
Hmm.
There's a lot.
Okay.
There's actually a
All right.
lot to unpack because it's been a number of years that we've known
Wow.
each other, but we didn't really know some of these things.
Interesting. Okay. We're on Earth unearthing so many things right here. But let me
Yes.
rein it back now. There's so many things we talk about. Let me rein it back. So, um, I think you've spoken a little bit about what your childhood was like, and do you still your parents? They're all still here in the UK. Everybody's still here in the UK. Yes.
So my dad and my mum are separated.
Oh,
They
okay.
live so East London. They're both actually still in East London. So
Okay.
they're both very much we see them and all of that, and they've been in the UK for a lot of years.
Right.
Yeah,
Do they
yeah, and
travel?
I
Do
think
they travel to Nigeria?
my dad travels. My dad travels to Nigeria. He has projects and stuff,
Okay.
but my mum does not. She's not interested in seeing Nigeria at all. Anyway. she said, she's like,
She has
that
given up on
country,
the country altogether.
yes. She's just like, because every time she speaks to my grandma, she's like, this, when they start calling prices for you in Nigeria, oh, this is costing this is
Ooh,
costing that, this is cost. My mom is just like, no, no, thank you. It's okay.
wow.
Let me just manage UK as I am. So,
Wow. I can
yeah.
understand that. I can understand that. Interesting that the going to Nigeria can literally change people's lives altogether. Let me just put it that way. If you hmm. Anyway, let's leave that alone. So,
I call it the
oh my
game
goodness.
changer.
Sorry, what's that?
I said I call it the game changer. It's a game changer because
It is. And if you do not have the heart for it, well, anyway, you can't anyway. Let's leave that. I don't want to talk about Nigeria not right now, because only yesterday I saw a video of something that's going on in there that just made me think, Lord, what is going on in this country?
and
Anyway,
there's
we're
so
not
much
gonna.
grace there. There's so much grace there. There's so much there. In terms of the gospel, should I call it gospel scene? I don't know, but it's amazing. There's nothing like it. Upon all the places I've been to, there's just something, the grace, the there's nothing like it, and I enjoy it. I could
Okay,
go to 10 churches in one day if I'm in Lagos because I
even
just love
Lagos
it.
as well.
I love it. I
Well,
love it.
it's oh, you're tempting me to talk about Lagos. Let's leave Lagos, Nigeria alone. Leave Nigeria.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. But okay, you know what? Your relationship with God, when did it start? Was it from childhood? Was there a crossover point where you came to and you realized that you know what I need to, or were you just plain sailing through and all that? Can you tell us a bit about that?
To be honest with you, I think it was on and off when I was younger because of the transition from. I think my parents went to, like, when I was really young, they went to a white garment church before going to the Catholic church, before going to
Right,
Pentecostal church. So I've had that transition. I've experienced different churches
right,
and different types of people, cultures, and everything. But one
right.
thing I can say is that God spoke to me through the gift He gave me, through different encounters. And I had one specific encounter where um, I was at secondary school, and I had been bullied from year 7 to
Oh dear.
year 10, and it started
Oh
to get
dear.
really bad. And so by the time it got to year 10, year 11, you're doing your GCSEs. And I actually had music as one of my GCSEs. And it was a module where it was a session where we had to sing. Everyone had to sing something or play an instrument.
Right.
And I started to sing in the class, and everyone just was like, "Oh my gosh, she can," all of that stuff, and just shocked and surprised. And the same people that were bullying me started to be
Right.
my friend just from when they heard me sing.
Right. Right. Wow.
It was timely because I was at the point where the principal said, "Oh, if you don't sit down or if you don't buckle down, you're going to have to, resit, or you're gonna have to leave the school."
Right.
Because it was a strict school where it doesn't matter if you are not the one that started the fight or something, you would still be suspended. So I went through
Wow.
some crazy things. People think, oh my
Wow.
God, oh my God, what? But yeah, it was a bit crazy. Secondary school back in the day it was crazy.
Wow. Oh dear. It keeps freezing. Your okay.
Can you
Oh
hear me
dear.
now?
It keeps freezing
Oh
out and
guys,
but okay.
really?
Carry on, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. Hopefully if I stay here, maybe it will work.
No, no, no,
Please
dude. I
God.
think
God, oh, please. No,
no, that is interesting that you're able to switch into that African accent and you never grew up in Africa. So where did that come from? Was it growing up under your
I
parents and hear them talk, hear them speak, and then you took that on, or what? Why were you influenced as such?
um do you know that I don't know if you know if it's my parents because although they would speak Ijaw to me, but I think it was more of my friends' parents because I spent a lot of time with my friends' parents and their pastors. All of my friends in secondary school, no, college, their parents were all pastors, so it was like I was a second daughter to them basically. So it was quite an
Okay,
experience to be around a lot of Yoruba people
right.
from college. So I think I kind of picked it up there. And then obviously Nollywood movies are quite good,
Hey!
stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
gosh. But that's where I would say I had a major encounter with God because I knew it was something more than the voice. I
Right,
knew that God was trying to use something within me to
right.
reach out to those people to allow them to just accept me as I am, and
Yeah,
we became friends even till now, and that's where it started. And then by the time I got to college,
yeah.
first few weeks, somehow I made friends with somebody that was in a choir, and that was the Revelation Choir, and
Ah,
yeah,
ah.
and I joined straight away from there. So I joined that choir, and it was a community gospel choir that would perform, TV, radio, rehearse every Wednesday, um, you know, weddings, all kinds of different events,
Wow.
corporate
I hear
events,
you.
whatever. So that started from, although we had quite a few years of just rehearsing, but then once
Right.
we started getting calls, it was BBC come and do the choir for a TV show. It was just
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Then we did
Right.
Last Choir Standing. We did the live finals
Wow.
for that. So we went all the way through. You know how you have The Voice or you have
Yeah,
Strictly
yeah.
Come Dancing. So it was live every Saturday on BBC One in
Wow. Wow.
2008. Yeah, and so that was an experience in itself. We learned
Oh,
so
wow.
much. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So that was an
You know what?
experience. So it started from there.
Interesting. Now, the funny
So
thing
you,
is, whilst you and I having this conversation, our friends are having their own private conversations. They're talking about there's something about Nigeria that they're not sure anyone has an idea about that. And this is from Lion Damijare. And they've been having their own, discussion about Nigeria. Said the Nigerian soup can be a factor. And then Angel say
the
she knows
cooking,
that
the
it's
food. Yeah,
Nollywood.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Well, I
no.
mean, there's the
I
food.
forgot the food, but I didn't want to talk about food because if I talk about food now, you
Let,
don't know
let,
who will
no,
start saying, hey, food or so I thought
okay,
let me not talk about food today. Food has its own separate gist, so that's another day. Let's leave the soup, oh guys, please.
I don't know why the
I don't want
conversation
to
is
start
going
being
this in this
I don't want to
direction.
start being hungry, guys. This is past 7 now. Guys,
In fact, I
please
think
have mercy
someone
on
is
that.
saying they need to review my visa too. They need to check my passport to make sure. Listen, you can't check my passport. I was only in Nigeria like a few months ago. So what are you talking about?
I guess, yeah, yeah, no. Well, I guess for
Wow.
everybody really, because we've not been traveling for the past how many, I mean, for a year and almost, I don't know how long. I don't know when we can travel again, really, because of the pandemic. So we don't know when we can
Well,
start going to Nigeria. But
okay. Well, I mean, we're not able to travel freely as we used to because there are people who's there who are still traveling. Sorry, my dear brother has just joined. Toye has just joined. Is there, and he says, "Is there a George Jesus people?"
hey, you people are really
Oh,
coming for me.
listen. I don't know what you've
Hey,
done for them, but
Uncle
they
Toy,
are
how
gunning
far
for you.
now? Uncle Toy, how
Listen.
far?
It shows how far your fame has gone. You are known. Why then?
Uncle Wale, please, I beg you, because that is just too much. Oh, please. Yeah,
Is
I'm just
is this
here.
lot? It's not me. It's the ones who are here that are dropping all this. You guys are, they're trying to hijack this show from me. But hey, I serve a living God. I
Uh-huh.
shall hold on to the reins and of control. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So
oh,
now, during,
much love to
during
you.
this, they said we love you too, we love you too, and Bami is also joined.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Okay, right. So all this time when you were traveling and auditioning with the choir and performing in weddings, whatever occasion there was, and the rest of it, what was your Christian? Were there any? Was there any challenge on your Christian life at that time? Were you finding it hard
Yeah.
to balance Christian life
Ooh,
and the glitz
Uncle,
and
the
glamour?
way you like G's, the way you like G's. Ah, okay.
Cheese,
So
cheese. Sorry,
this
I
is
don't
G's.
like
This is
cheese
real
too.
G's. This is G's. This is not. This is G's.
Eh. Sorry, I'm not a fan of cheese, so.
Me, I came with my Bible. I said, let's talk. But this is G's. Okay, no problem. So, hmm, hmm. I have to be confidential here, but I'm still
You have to
because
think about that.
yeah, because like I said, it's a choir where we can the Sun newspaper can say, oh, can you come and perform at our Christmas party? And
Okay,
that's the Sun newspaper, so it's not a gospel event, but we were a gospel choir. So
sure, of course.
they will give us songs like, oh, Lovely Day and
Yeah, yeah,
Meatloaf and so and so different
yeah,
songs.
yeah. Songs they
Um
just want a
so
choir
and then maybe
voice
one or two
rather.
gospel songs. So
Right.
Shackles and so the Kurt Franklin, the commercial type of gospel stuff.
Yeah,
For me, I would say personally, music is still some kind of therapy. So it was good for me in a sense because I would go
sure,
sing and enjoy it. And then when you get paid, you're like, great, you get paid, even a bonus,
sure.
what more do you want?
Yeah.
But at a time when I gave my life to Christ and everything, I think I went to KSCC and New Wine because I had, like I said, one friend from one choir, one friend from another choir. So I would be in between the two of the churches when I first gave my life officially.
Toye, you need to stop. Toye said they gave you Shabarang song. Toye, keep your comments to yourself. Toye.
Listen,
Oh
so
no,
I'm
oh
talking about my
no, I can't hear you.
teenage years, and my so I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Okay, okay, you're back now. You're back now. The frame froze for a bit, but I can hear you now.
So I was trying to say that I think that when I did see, and I think we had the fasting that I think is it 21 days that Pastor
30,
Matthew does. 30 days, yeah.
30
So I
days.
came
Yeah,
during that period, and
right.
it was the prayer points. I came on, I think, a Wednesday, a Thursday. I came. It was like yeah. So and I remember I just felt that there was some power and presence of God that was different to just the church I was going. And so I think from there I really just wanted to know more of God. So it was just reading scriptures. It was just trying to find my own way. And then I realized that I was starting to look different to some of my friends in the group. When I say different, what do I mean? you've got a set list. You've got 4 secular songs, and then you've got
Okay.
1 gospel.
Wow.
I wouldn't get tired of this,
Oh dear.
but the
You're
gospel.
frozen again. Oh, oh, can't really hear you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's frozen. Oh dear, 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 dear. Oh, she's explaining herself. The is frozen, but she's gonna come back. I'm sure she's gonna come back. Now, while she's trying to make her way back, all you guys, I'm happy. I love the way you leave your comments because this show has become our show. I love the way you guys comment and you make it less formal and really interactive as it is. Okay, I'll try and bring her back again. So I reckon it's a line, a connection, or something that might just be weak and all that. But yeah, come back in Jesus' name. Yes, you will come.
Oh, my people, my people.
Well, oh my. I think your connection is kind of shady.
Village. It's my village. I'm in the village
Is
here in Rochester.
are
So,
you using MTN or
do you know what's so bad? Because I used to, when people's network break it, I'll be saying, MTN, MTN, MTN. I'll be
you
typing
see the
MTN.
table has turned
This,
now.
this
The
village,
table has
this
turned.
village has
You are
embarrassed
connected.
me.
You are connected to NEPA.
Hey, ah, hmm, it is well. It is well.
You know,
Thank
I'm
you.
not sure.
Thank you
I'm
for
not
those
sure
words
which
of
one is
advice.
more effective. Is it the Nollywood films or these other parents of friends? Because your demeanor, the
No, but
Nigerian demeanor.
no. But remember, my husband is Calabar, and then he's a very fluent Yoruba speaker. So
So
that's
your
different,
husband
yeah.
is from Calabar.
But when you speak to him, he's like a Yoruba person.
God
So
have mercy. I never took him for. I was convinced. It's part of the question I was going to come to that. How did you manage an Ijaw woman marry a Yoruba man? I was going to. So he's from Calabar.
yeah,
Father, Lord, have mercy.
but
Wow.
Yoruba person, actually, like as in his, his expression, his daily. Do you understand? He
He
speaks a lot of Yoruba
this is interesting.
from one.
Hmm. Okay, you know what? Toye, mind yourself. This thing you're right. I don't.
Raised.
Oh my. Oh no. I can't hear you. Your MTN is really playing up, man. Sorry, your connection, I have to say. Wow. Oh dear. Oh, can you reposition yourself maybe somewhere? to- Okay, okay. I can hear you now. It's frozen again. Uh, I think it's the interruption from people like Toye, and Angel I that's causing it to freeze. It's I mean, there are people who have patiently just listen to, and it was when both of you came that frame started freezing. Hmm. Yes, okay, Angela, yes, we welcome him. We welcome okay. Right. So I'm gonna try and bring her back. But when I bring you back, see if you can reposition yourself. Maybe it's where you're stationed that the reception is not that great. But okay, Angela, you said we welcome him into Yoruba land. Yes, welcome into Yoruba land. Uh, you are giving him anointing. Okay, right. So very interesting conversations there, and I have to say thank you guys for. It's your spirit that's writing them. So yeah, you are on another level. Honestly, I'm not even going to reply. I'm not reading your comments anymore. Honestly. Constance, please, I'm back with you. Let's leave Toye out of this discussion. He's he's
Oh
distracted.
my gosh, guys.
Okay. Nah, nah, he's just something else. Please, as you were, carry on.
Where was the I? So
Yeah,
yes,
so Christian life, secular life.
But
you
you know
know,
how it is. You know how it is when you are singing gospel songs and you feel something different. They feel
right,
something different in the music to when you're singing a regular song.
right,
But that's what it was for me. I just felt more of a connection with the lyrics when I'm
right,
singing a gospel song to some of the other songs I was doing on the gigs. And
right.
I think it got to that point where spiritually I started having dreams,
Wow,
and the dreams were, it was strange, but
wow.
it was a clear like sign from God, like, okay, this thing you're doing,
Right,
think think about it, think about it,
right,
you know. And I remember I had one dream where we were performing in somewhere like Debenhams, and we were actually see through. We were like, people couldn't see us, but people were there. They were
right, right,
actually walking through us. So it was like a Debenhams store type of like House of Fraser. They put a stage there,
right, right,
and we were performing, but we were like see
right,
through. Nobody could see us, but
right.
we were giving it our best, singing dance
Sure.
moves, all that.
Right.
When I woke up, I had to really pray, pray, pray. And
Wow.
God just led me to that, just to leave. And when I left that group, it was a big decision for me because I had been in that group since I was 16. And I'm now,
Wow.
at this point, I'm now, how old was I then? 25.
Okay. A good 9 years at least. Wow.
And and yeah, it was a big decision. And then also it's gigs, so you're getting paid. So
Sure.
there was two things there for
Right.
me, and it was a big decision. I've formed family friendships and bonds and all of that. It was really, really big decision, but I knew that God wanted me to do that.
Wow. Wow.
Through the
Okay. Let,
confirmation
let
and
me
everything,
let me
I
let
knew.
me answer this question very quickly. I have somebody who's asking. That's Lion Damijare. He said, "Can we ask our guest questions?" I usually I'm the one doing the asking the questions, but you can pose those questions, and I'll see how we can intertwine that into or include that into what we're doing. Okay, right. You know what? You said something there, and here it is. Every song has a spirit behind it. Every
Yeah.
song has a
Mm-hmm.
spirit because the people who write the songs, we are tripartite. What do I mean by that? We are spirit, soul, and body. There's that. But we actually are spirits who happen to live in a body because the license for living on planet Earth is that you have a physical body, right? But then that body needs to interact with other bodies. So God gave that spirit a soul. So we actually first spirit that live in the body and we have a soul. So when we write, is this the spirit that is writing and is writing from what the soul has fed it. So when you're saying just that reaction you were getting, that feeling you were getting, that discomfort you were getting,
Discomfort, but because it took a while. It didn't just happen overnight that I
right,
just decided to leave, because it was, remember, this was gigs on the weekend, sometimes on a weekday. We're doing TV shows here and there. So it was a process. But
right,
and even when I would have some of the dreams, I would still, because at that time I wasn't going in like the way I do and would now. So
right.
I wasn't like now, if I have a dream like that, I know what scriptures I will open straight away and start
Of
praying.
course, yeah.
I know I will speak in tongues straight away. I will pray.
Right.
I will, but
You
at that
prayed
time,
away.
I just wake up and be like, this is a strange dream, I don't know. But
Yeah.
it happened. God kept showing me over a period of time. So it's a process.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a process. And I think that if the more you're in tune with God, the more you have a
Yes.
relationship with Him, it will
Yeah.
open up your eyes to see what it is that He's telling you. And it's funny because the group was called Revelation, but I was not having the revelation of what God wanted me to do until I really connected with Him.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting now
That's
because
interesting.
Revelation, that's the light of God, actually. At
Yeah.
the time, we all had this mindset of being a group that would go and spread the light of God and spread,
Sure. Sure.
even if it's whatever music, which is fine, which is good.
Sure.
But like I said, the music the
Mm.
connection. I
Yeah.
felt it felt like I was singing empty, like just empty words at some.
Right.
So I really had to make a choice and disconnect myself. When I did, and I joined the church choir, and I really committed myself, it then was like, oh, I was like in a mass choir with Evans and everybody, and I was
Right.
kind of like, it's like I disappeared, and I felt like I'd started again from singing
Wow.
from day one, and it was just a different experience for me, and I could not explain to you with words. Um, and then
Wow.
when I got to Liberty, God had his own way, had his own journey for me. And I'd just been married and I've gone to Redeemed, and I'm thinking, how am I going to fit in here? How does this work? And then you have your ministers, like you have your ministers, minister this, minister that, in terms of the
Right.
singers. Those are the people that sing, and then you've got all the rest of the singers, and then you've got the rest at the back. So I was in the back somewhere for two
You
years.
you were still very down the food chain, down the
Yes, yes, yes.
wow.
Hmm.
You know what? Let me ask maybe one more question around that. Your experience as singing with the as a in a gospel choir, but not exactly singing all gospel. Yeah, because of um, I'm certain it's because some of the songs were dictated to you. You were told what to sing, or what you were expected to
Yeah.
sing, and
Yeah.
feeling you were have this comfort, this edgy, and maybe rubbing you up the wrong side. Was that across board with everybody else, or did you find that it was just you?
I felt like mostly it was just me. Um,
Okay.
because there were times where I didn't connect with everyone in within the group because I was so much going to church a lot, praying in tongues, all of that, and not that the others weren't, but everybody was at different stages, and we're talking about a group of sometimes 30, sometimes 16, sometimes 18, sometimes
Right.
so we had a lot of session as well. So some people were just coming for the gig, or one rehearsal before the gig, still get paid the same as me.
Oh
I was
wow.
yeah, that's the reality. That is the reality of all the things that I went through, and I knew when those things were happening it would affect me. But on the other side, I knew it was happening to me for God to open my eyes to let me know that, okay, this is probably not for you. If
Right.
this is
Right.
how it works, if you're committing your time and your effort to this,
Yeah.
and this is how you're treated,
Right.
then it's
Right.
probably not for you.
Hmm. Okay, then let me ask you. Let me ask you right here. I'm going to be popping some questions to you. So, in your opinion, is there a way to balance being a Christian, a born again Christian, as someone who's sold out to God, but still sing in within the secular music industry? Is can there be a balance? Is it possible from your
That do
perspective?
that. I know a few people that do that. Like the girl that won The Voice, Blessing Atonia. She
Something like
does
yeah.
gospel and she does a bit of secular, but she kind of this is like a fusion. Um,
Okay.
and I think it is possible, but it depends on what you're trying to reach or who God has called you to. Um,
Right.
and I believe that sometimes God has actually called a specific person to specific people. So if, for example, your music or your style is for that of maybe the younger generation,
Yeah.
he will give you a sound for that generation. He's not going to
Yep.
give you a sound that will not relate to them. So I do
Sure.
believe God can use anybody for their own purposes. I see
Right.
Diabolo. Bless you,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Diablo is in
Um,
the house. I'm not sure if he's back in UK yet or he's still in Nigeria, but
he's back.
he's he's back. Great, great, great.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah.
Lovely
So to
stuff.
answer your
Ah,
question, I say yes, but
okay.
if you're talking about full-fledged ministry, like ministry, I would say no.
Right.
About just be able to do music and reach people, you know, just like general outreach. Say you sing a gospel song and you sing like a secular song that's not in a bad way. So it's kind of like
It's not
I don't know, Ed
explicit.
Sheeran, not explicit. So like Ed Sheeran or something, a
Right.
love song at a
Right.
wedding.
Right.
Um, that will still, you'll find that someone that sings at a wedding like that, you're still blessing people.
Yeah.
There's something about the way that you sing at that day that will say to some, that would make someone say, oh, I want to book this person, or oh, I want to know more about this person, or is she a vocal trainer, or
Right.
where's her
Right.
music, I want to buy her music, or it just touched me. So music can
Right.
touch everybody in different ways.
Sure. Mm.
So yeah, but ministry
Mm.
wise, I would say no, because it's
Right.
you can't be hot and cold. Like
Right.
it's
Right.
either you're
Mm. Lion Demi is here saying balancing music as a ministry and ministry as your crafts. Lion, you are very, as a craft, you are very deep. You're a very deep man. So
friend is my friend.
yeah, yeah,
My
very okay.
bro.
Oh,
Listen,
cool.
you can't. It's like it's two different things. It's what he's just.
Okay.
It's two different things, and I think you just can't. You can't merge the two. But people are merging the two. Is what I was trying to say. There are people
I mean,
that are.
what I was referring to is it's not that you are a gospel artist and at the same time you are a secular artist. That's not what I think that those who do that. But what I'm even scaling it from or looking at it from a perspective of, for example, a gospel singer, a born again, someone who's born again, who maybe is in the church choir, maybe in the worship team and all that. But then for their full-time job,
Oh, okay, I
they
get what you
they
mean. Yeah.
they work within the, of course it's the it's an obvious question, but I'm seeking to, I'm just asking the obvious, but
Uh,
I'm seeking to get your provoke your
I'm
opinions.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about me, I never judge people that do it, because
Uh-huh.
if they're doing it as their career, like they're a full-time singer, like that's their job,
Yeah.
you will find that they're on tours with artists and they are still in their church ministering, because
Right.
that is their job. And if your
Right.
doctor is Asian, he will still treat you if, yeah, you're a
Sure.
Christian. So I feel like there are so many people out there that are doing that, because that's full-time singers.
Right.
But for me personally, I wouldn't, but I don't judge people that do, because
Sure.
it's
Sure.
their job, it's their livelihood, it's the way they provide food. They can't
Yeah.
pay for food,
Right.
speaking in
Of
tongues.
course.
They need
Yeah.
they need to earn, and if they don't earn money from church, singing in their church, and they want to minister anywhere, and then also
And they're
perform with
serving the
with kids,
gifts
then they
to
can.
yeah. Right, right. Yeah, I mean, in fact, not in fact, without looking too far out, just 2 days ago was the Grammys, right? And it
Boy.
showed Bonner
Mm.
Boy's performance. His performance was absolutely amazing. I saw his performance, and I know his musicians and his singers. They
Yeah.
are being Christian, all of them.
Yeah, yeah, Michael,
His
and yeah, yeah.
his
Mm.
drummer is I used his studio, and he was from part of those who helped put my track together. I know them. They love the Lord. They pray together and all that kind of stuff. So for them, they see it as a job because their professionalism is being employed, and then they go out there and they serve effectively. In fact, Bonner Boy's performance, the genre of presentation, that was nothing but gospel. Forget it. I don't care.
Everything about it. But you know what? I actually love that, and I don't. I love it. I can't explain it, but I love the fact that they were able to go there and do that, and it was they've done it with excellence, and the spirit of excellence, is that not from God? That's from God.
That's
So,
correct. That's correct. That's
so I
correct.
really love
Interesting.
that. I feel like when you are doing it as a, like, I think, like Danny
And
said,
Dio was the sound engineer and all that. Yes, absolutely.
exactly. But if you check their profiles, if you check their Instagrams, their whatever, they're not trying to be. They're not saying they are. Um, they love God. They're Christians,
Yeah.
and they do music. That's their job,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
they have other jobs and businesses that they do. Do you see
Okay.
what I
Let
mean?
me
So
let, let me
there's a
read
difference. For me, there's a difference.
let me read from Debbie Omodele. She says, I don't think you can straddle both, as your audience and purpose of your musical ministry should be clear as you say. God can lead you to a sound to appeal to our current generation, for example, called up music. But Debbie, I think what we're singing from the same hymn sheet, but just to let you know where we're speaking from, I'm talking about those who are like Christian musicians, Christian singers, who are hired for their expertise and their skills and their ability to play for a secular artist. Not necessarily singing explicit stuff or demonic stuff, but mostly like love songs and that kind of stuff that, this kind of song you will play on your wedding day. Because I doubt that on your wedding day, when it's time for you and your husband or your wife to do your first dance, you'll be dancing to You Are God Alone. I doubt it. You'll be dancing to something that say, baby, I love you, or something like that. So that's what we're talking about. That those who, when they are born again, they love the Lord, but then for their full time or to where they earn their keep, they they engage their skills, their ability to sing, and they get paid well. They get paid well. The church can't pay a lot
Do
of them what they get paid, and they not exactly start doing it for the money. It was this. I love to sing. The church can't even engage me because maybe they're not in need of a full-time singer or something, or maybe they've hired enough. And then here is a ministry that is not gospel, but it's not singing anything against, that wants to engage me with my skills and ability and the ability to sing. I will go that way, and I'll just have to make sure that I'm grounded in the house of God. That's where we're looking at things from. Oh gosh, I've just scrolled up to see a few other comments. Let me read this one. It
yeah.
say, I even remember Dietrich Haddon wrote a song for Usher. So far, our pastors can do normal secular jobs. What make musicians not free too? Um, hmm,
But I get what he's trying to say because really, they're being hired for their skill set when it's outside of the church,
yeah,
whereas in church, it's first your service to God at the end of the day, and then you
yeah,
obviously are there to minister to people, and God will use you as He wants to use you. But every part of, so even the sound engineer, even the drummer at the back or whoever,
yeah,
every part of whoever is at that front there is still it's there. You're there to minister. You're there to minister to someone. So it's not
right.
only just the lead singer and then maybe the BVs and then maybe when you pass. It's everyone
Wow. Yeah,
part. So your sound engineer that never sings,
yeah,
that they fly him all over the world to Tiwa
yeah,
Savage to yes,
yeah.
he has to work with those people, but he has to
Yes,
provide our sound for
that's right.
church and still, and the sound is a big part, is a major part of the service.
Absolutely. He's been hired for his expertise. He's that good that they say like, no, we want this one.
Across the world, everywhere,
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? Let's, because this line of conversation can, I mean, that's a whole show in itself. But let me not bring it back in. So, how do you balance, your life, your ministry, your husband with his music and his all of that? Balance that with family life. Looking after the kids, you and your wife, your husband spending time together, maintaining that. How do you balance all of that?
Balance, but there is I with the level of the amount of things that I have to do and that God wants me to do.
Right.
Um, Maybe my children will want me to do, my husband, whatever. When I look at everything, there isn't a way to balance in my head. What I seem to do or what I do is I prioritize.
Okay.
I give and one key I would give,
Right.
and then
Prioritize.
prioritize because
Can you explain a bit more? What do you mean by that?
is
Oh, yeah,
when
your
you're
voice is
doing
cutting out. Okay, go on.
okay, can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah, yeah, okay. It's like when you start off your sentence, it cuts out and then it comes in. Go on.
So basically, I wear many hats, right?
Okay,
Um, Minister, all these things, wife, all those things. But the truth is, I can't do everything. I literally cannot do everything.
sure.
Um, but what I try to do is I flex and I prioritize. So I look at what is important for today, and I take each day at a time.
Right, right,
What will God have me do today?
right.
Do I need to do for my family today? What do I need to do for work today? What do I need to do for ministry today?
Right.
Am I going to be at church today? Have I got, you know, who do I need? Oh, childcare here and there sometimes if I can. It's a
So
lot.
do,
It's
so do you feel pulled then? Do you feel pulled to
because so my daughter is 7, my son is 6,
right?
and I don't live in London. Um, I've not lived in London for the past 4 years. Um,
Where do you guys live? Sorry, where again?
they're in Kent,
Sorry, it's cutting out. Kent,
Rochester.
Rochester, Rochester. You're just down the road from me. What do you know? So you're in Rochester. I live
Yes,
in Dartford.
sir.
I live in Dartford. Oh wow, okay.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Okay. So we can teach people. We know ourselves. Oh
Oh,
wow.
honestly speaking, I'll tell you, it is hard because there, I work full time. I work with the NHS. I work full
Okay.
time. So
Okay.
Monday to Friday, there's that as well. So it's a lot.
Wow.
Ask me if I feel like I'm being pulled, yes, because I still work. So
Interesting.
if I don't prioritize, I
Mm,
will become overwhelmed.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't trust God, but it's because there literally is a to-do list of things to do, and I've got to make sure that that gets done. But the amazing part is that some of the stuff that I can do, so it's helpful. If you have someone that can't do anything and they can only just do, because God bless everybody, I love everyone. I'm no shade, no shade, but if I mean, there's just some things that
Is that even possible in England that within the African community? Is that even possible that
is
one
possible,
person not
or
know how to do one
is
thing?
possible, very, very, very possible. Or even
Oh,
if they do, it's just the one that they can do. So, for example, some men will not want to change nappies. Some women might not want to do some particular things. So, what I'm saying is that if I cannot do something, he can do it. If he cannot do
okay,
something, I can do it. So
fair
it's
enough.
like, so that's where that balance comes in because that's where we
Okay,
balance each other out. But I like, for me personally, I prioritize. Like, if
prioritize.
it's not important for that day and
Yeah,
it can be done tomorrow, I don't stress myself. I do it tomorrow.
yeah.
To
Mm,
say no and
mm,
prioritizing, it's been like so important. So, so important.
right, right,
Self-care.
right.
You cannot do all these things without the self-care, without prioritizing.
You might experience a burnout, and
And then
that's not the plan.
You need faith because you will break down if you're not
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah. You're the
It's
second guest of
grace.
mine who's said something to this. Well, practically almost all my guests, but I think it was Sarah Tebow as well, that because I asked the same question and she's like, prioritize, there's a lot to do as long as she's written them out and she's able to schedule them and then, she commits to it. And then that reminds me of a statement I heard a while, but actually I read it in the book that says you must uh, you must differentiate the important from the urgent. What's important and what is urgent? You must know which one is which. And so if it's urgent, that means it's got to be done now. Versus
Pastor.
it's very important.
I learned that from my pastor. I tell you, he doesn't let anybody pressure him in terms of, and Pastor Nathaniel as well. He's another person that has really poured into me in terms of how do you prioritize, how do you manage, how do you do ministry, how do you do. It's simple. It's look at what you have to do, and if it is not important, if it's not urgent,
Right.
and don't let platforms or people pulling you here and say, "Oh, I want this, I want that." Don't let it pressure you. Don't let it um, um, pressure you into wanting to do
Pull you
something
into
or
doing
to wanting to
something. Yeah.
be on a platform. Like,
Right.
wait and hear from God. Wait and just let God minister
Indeed.
to you Himself.
Right. Right.
You know how it is where people can be calling and messaging, or they want, oh, come up, I need prayer here, I need this, I need that. What about praying for yourself? What about
Right.
it's just things like that that I've seen over the years from
Right.
them that I've really learned as well.
Right. Right.
Because
I
you
see.
can't be
I
there
see.
for everyone. You can't do everything for everyone. I used
Of
to
course.
really be someone that like that. I wouldn't lie. It's the grace of God.
Wow.
A prayer point that we prayed yesterday, if anyone was from Liberty, they're on here, they know. Apostle Selman said, pray for the grace, yeah, for whatever your purpose and your calling is. Pray for the grace for each of those things. And he didn't just mention ministry or business or finance. He mentioned family life. He mentioned
Wow.
finance. Pray for the grace because there's a certain grace that God will give you for each of these things.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Mm.
Is mother, you're a mother, you
Yeah.
work, you have, it's God that will give you the grace
The grace.
to
Yeah.
do that. And it's
Mm.
only God, and
Wow.
I can say it's only God. I prioritize, but it's God that gives me the grace to do that prioritization.
To prioritize that. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
Times
Wow.
that I
Okay.
don't fulfill some of the things that I want to do myself for
Yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
God knows when, why, and how
Yeah. I guess well that's why
to
we each one of us we have to run our own race really because
grace.
yours might be 100-meter dash, it might be mine might be 400. So if I try to run like you, I will fizzle out after after 100 meter, and I've expended the energy I'm meant to manage over 400 and all that. But let me shift. There's a this show, that's the how the shows go. There's always a lot. We open and begin to push in the direction, and you find you discover more and more. But as a leader of people in worship, and leading the people in the procession of worship, what would you say are the things? Okay, for example, let me put it this way. Uh, a young man, a young lady approaches you right now. Maybe he's looking through this lens of this camera. It's like, Auntie, 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 I want to do what you do. I want to be able to lead people in worship. I want to, what would be the basic things you tell them to guide them to let them know what it is all about? What would you say?
Hmm. So I believe I've covered it in the
Okay,
first part of what we just spoke about. But I would say this especially when they're young, because I do vocal training as well, which is the
sure.
part I've missed out. And I started doing vocal training, especially for children, because I was called to do some vocal training for someone one time, and I just discovered that I had a really good passion for it, and I just wanted to see people grow and develop, and then youth on their own will come to me and say, "Oh, Auntie, like just like what you said. Oh, I want to learn how do you do this? How do you?" And I would say to them, why do you want to do it? Think about your why first of all,
Right.
because
Sure.
it can look very glamorous. It can actually look glamorous. It can look like, oh, great, oh, the microphone and all the music, but it's not glamorous. It's actually a hard work, and there's a
Yeah.
lot that goes into music, into singing one song. There are so many different things,
Yeah.
from your mic technique, from your notes to the lyrics to projection and all that,
Right.
diction,
Right. Right.
delivery
Right.
side. And then there's the
Wow.
spiritual side. The
Right.
spiritual side is another thing, and depending on the age,
Mm.
I will firstly spend time to get to know them and ask them to really pray. and
Right.
pray with them, pray for them,
Right.
find out who they are. Because sometimes you can desire something because of what you're going through, not actually because it's what you're supposed to do or
We're
what God
supposed to
wants you
do.
to do. Sometimes
Right.
your purpose is birthed through your trauma, through your problems or whatever. It depends. It really
Right.
depends. And I feel like you can't do it without God. So I will always make sure that there's a relationship with God there and just guide them on how to get the relationship with God. Because everything that I do is birthed from a relationship with God. Because like I said, I was bullied through most of it, most of my younger life. I literally was in a place of being alone, and it was
Right.
God's just, it was His company for me.
Right.
That's how I started. It wasn't the skills alone or all that. Mm-mm. It was
Right.
actually a relationship with God, and because I had studied music, because I had the passion, because I'd started gigging, and it just birthed something. So
Right.
I would say, give God your own time, give
Okay.
something, serve in your church, invest in yourself. Is it keyboards? Is it drums? Is it what? Do something, invest in your craft as early as possible.
As possible.
Not prayer, not
Right.
just singing when you feel like it.
Right. Right. Right.
When you don't feel like it.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
It's because
Yeah.
it's
Of
not
course.
about you. When you get to
Yeah.
that level of wanting to sing in church and all those, there's nothing about it that is about you. Nothing.
Right. Right. Hmm. Very,
Song.
very, very, very useful counsel there. Very useful. Yeah.
People assume, especially when you start traveling they assume that it's glam. They assume you're best friend with the pastor. So that's why they assume all kinds of stuff that's not even true. It's you fast.
Oh my goodness.
You, whether you like
If
it,
only
whether
they
you don't
knew.
like it, you're fasting. You're on that plane. Yeah, everyone is eating their food. You fast. You break. You fast again until after the program has been done. Then you can eat. So forget what you think is glamorous. Forget that. Oh, you want to sing. Can you even fast? It's it's really it's
Oh.
really something, honestly, because people, this is the part that people don't want to really hear. That's why
Mm.
I said first, why?
Correct. I think that's a good place to start, as in,
Your why.
um,
And after that
yeah,
you can then go to the spiritual and
yeah,
then the
everything
practical
else
stuff.
that
If you
comes
know
with.
you're not a good singer, you're not too sure, get some advice. Sing for your family at home first. Let minister to them first. If they can say, oh yeah, it's a start.
Hopefully the family is being
Although
fair rather
honest,
than being sentimental,
yes,
because they
yes,
wouldn't want to
but
hurt
then
their feelings.
one thing I found, because it hasn't all of what I've said, when people have vocal sessions with me, we go through all of these things in my sessions, and one thing I say is, have you sang today to your family this week? Have your family heard you rehearsing? Have you rehearsed this week? And we said, oh no, oh auntie, or oh, miss, you're not there yet. You need to disturb your neighbors if you can. I'm joking, but you
Hey,
need to disturb your family and let them know that this is what I want to do.
yes,
Do you
we
understand?
sing. This is what we do. Yeah.
I hope what I'm saying is clear enough, because I kind of tried to put it into little nuggets, but it's basically that. That's just the foundation, really.
No, I think you
Once you
clear
do
cut
that,
on what you say. Yeah.
yeah, once
You
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 do
you.
that, you can
Mm.
easily God will do the rest.
Oh,
Especially if
love
He's
that.
graced you, if He's called you for it, He'll do the
Yeah.
rest. You
Praise
know,
God. Amen.
yeah, it's
Amen.
not what we
Amen.
do. It's not by our own strength
No,
at
no,
all.
no. Right. Okay. Well, we've got just a few couple minutes left. So I want to ask, what can we expect from you the rest of the year? You coming up with that? Because I see different photo shoots on Instagram, and I'm suspecting like
Yeah.
an album, a single, or something coming. So we want to know, are you the next? Are you the next opening act on the next Grammys, or what? Are you the opening act? We don't know, I mean, hey. Maybe you're now going to be duetting with I don't know, uh, Erica Campbell or something like that. So yeah, I mean,
Following your footsteps. So when
follow
we're following you,
don't
sir. We're following you.
follow Jesus' footsteps.
Ah. Oh my goodness.
But is there are there,
Well,
are there any projects you're working on for this
yeah,
year?
yeah. So
Okay.
I have some. I'm working on my EP, but I'm gonna, by the grace of God, and also a single. So the single was two singles were recorded last year, and so one of them should be out by the grace of God in April. Um,
Oh,
yeah, and then yeah, so the rest, yeah, God is in control.
you
I've
live it
got
for
a
now. You know that's
vocal course as well, which I am launching as well, which is
Oh, cool.
going to be on my website. Um, so
Lovely
that's
stuff.
that part. I'm also doing a project for schools where I will do sessions in schools, so like vocals and
Yeah.
performance tips as well. So basically working with children
Oh, brilliant
mostly.
stuff.
Yeah,
Brilliant stuff.
I'm really, God has really been pushing me and pulling me to just start doing this. It's been a while.
Wow.
I've been doing it in the background for a few years,
Oh,
but
you're
now I'm
bringing it
actually
to the fore now.
yeah, launching it
Oh,
out. So it's
brilliant.
going to be quite an amazing one by the grace of
It sounds
God.
exciting. They all sound,
Yeah, I
it
just
all
love
sounds
working with I love working with youth. Some of them
oh,
are
wow.
even going to like auditions already for like The Voice and Britain's Got Talent.
Oh,
So I
cool.
will be shouting them out. So and a few of
Oh,
them have already got songs out as well. So they're doing amazing. They're doing amazing.
that's brilliant. That is brilliant. Well, you know what? Whichever way we can support you, please let us know. And if people want to get in
Yeah.
contact with you to follow you, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, I'm sure, and they can go to your website. What's your website? What's your website?
CJGospelmusic.com.
That's Tango Julia Gospel Music.
Charlie Juliet
Okay, Charlie Julia, CJ.
gospelmusic.com.
Go, go,
CJ Constance Jones. Yeah. I'm
cool.
also doing a choir course as well. So I'm working quite a bit with choirs this year.
Okay,
So working on so like a crash course and so just harmonies and blends
right,
and just building
right.
the morale to because
Sure.
after this pandemic, I think well during this pandemic, I believe a lot of choirs have had such low activity. There's not been
Yeah,
and it's just really God laid it on my heart to just really build the morale for different choirs and
sure.
just ignite that zeal again for rehearsals, for learning songs, techniques,
Yeah,
all those things.
sure.
Um, yeah, so
Oh,
I'm going
wow.
to be posting that as well. So if you know any churches that would like someone to help with that, yeah,
Okay.
do get in.
Oh, look, Debbie is such a good admin for you. She's posted as cjgospelmusic.com. Wow. Wow.
Thank you,
These are good.
Debbie. She's in our choir too. She's an amazing singer as well. But guys, by the way, yeah,
I can
I
imagine.
she's had some sessions with me as well, and she's an amazing singer, and she's also in my church now and our choir. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Now I know where all the amazing singers are coming, because I like, we need amazing singers. Now I know they're running to your church. Well, I'll have to come and have a discussion with your pastor.
We welcome everyone. I always say this is there's so much God. We talked about a lot of things today, but really God is just getting started, and that's
Mm,
not just for me, for all of us. That God is going to do great things for us this year. I so much believe that, and I'm
yeah.
so
Mm,
excited at what God is
yeah.
doing in the Liberty Church for every one of us and for everyone that's here. And yeah, so I'm just happy. I'm just excited.
I think I've got I've got the Liberty Church. Today is the fact of the matter. Liberty Church audience.
I've been plugging my church very shamelessly. I really yeah, but I can't help it because we just had Apostle Salmon yesterday
Okay.
and to be honest there's so many miracles, so many signs and wonders that God is just doing. So I can't
Hey.
help but share the testimony. So sorry guys,
Yeah,
shameless
yeah.
church plug,
Listen,
but hey, come
hey,
through, come check us
it's not
out
your
on
fault.
YouTube.
It's God that's doing His own thing.
Come and check out the libertychurch.com on YouTube, guys.
Right.
Like, yeah, go and check out the Liberty
Praise
Church.
God. Praise
You'll know
God.
what we're
Praise
talking
God.
about.
Wow.
Thank
Wow.
you so much, though. I
No,
should have
no,
said this
no.
at the
Listen,
beginning.
you've
We
been
went
in a.
straight in, but I just want to say I'm really honored to just talk with you and just be here. And it's just, I never expected it. I never expected it. I never
I
expected it.
never expected it.
I never expected it. I'm really, honestly, I mean, I never expected it, and I'm just so honored, and I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Thank you so much.
No, no, no. Thanks for accepting to come on the show. You know, I invite people to the show because I believe they have something to share. I see that your postings and some of the comments you make, your personal postings, and even when you come on Fact of the Matter, some of your comments and all that, I said, like, you know what, you have something to offer, and with that kind of experience, your experience is unique to you, and there's a lot you can share from that. Even if somebody who is maybe uh, more widely known, they can seem like, oh, maybe they should be the one sharing. No, they have their own experience. You have yours, and there's somebody that can learn from yours. I have learned from your
And to hear
experience,
that.
and yeah, yes, absolutely. And then you lot, you keep putting me on the, I won't say on the pressure, but um um,
On
I
the
was
hot
just
seat.
grateful. No, I'm no, no. But this is it. I'm just grateful to God that I didn't do anything that would have really messed things up in the early years. Like you telling me that you were in KICC, you were there when I was singing, and you came in, because it's like if I had done so, I was spoken out of terms of they're like, look at this brother, we know
No,
him.
that wasn't you. That was not you. But
No, that's what I'm saying.
the person who did, honestly, God just did it. That when they met me, they came to Liberty Church. They were like, oh, I'm so sorry the way I behaved that time. I'm like, it's okay.
Because there's quite a few of you like that have come around to tell me that you either were KICC or you saw me somewhere, and a few years later, like, yeah, it was a few years ago, and you were there, you were doing this, and like, Father God, please help me to always behave myself. Oh
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
but listen, seriously, it's been great. I really appreciate you, and and your husband. I mean, I don't want to go. Our time is up already, but your husband is an amazing man. Now that I know he's not even a Yoruba man, I'm trying still going to get my mind, because he looks, he talks, and he
Yes,
walked Yoruba.
yes,
Is like,
completely.
hmm, you know what? I know what it is. He's a Yoruba man, but he's God told his parents to go and born him in Calabar. So he's actually Yoruba, but God come go and born him in Calabar.
True, true, true. Very true. Honestly,
Oh my
very true.
goodness.
And he's a
But
twin.
listen,
He's a twin too, and his brother
yeah,
plays
yeah,
the
yeah,
keyboard.
yeah, he's a twin. Oh my word. Are they identical?
Identical though, but they're twins.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
there's a lot that's identical that certain features. Let me not say too much. You know.
Let's keep it for another day. But listen,
Oh,
listen, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I want to thank
thank you,
everybody else that
everyone.
stayed on. I will post this on Instagram later so you can watch it again. But it's been great. It's been wonderful. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you, everyone.
Really
Thank you,
honored.
Debbie. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for Angel Eye. If you're still there. In fact, let me see who's there. Thank you. Oh, my dear sister Pauline is there. Sister Fumi is there. Sister Fumi, it's your first time and you say it all the way through. Mwah!
Sister
Mike
Fumi.
Coins, I cannot pronounce properly. I did two square. And of course, Debbie, thank you for staying
Joanne
on
was
there. Everybody
there.
else that was on earlier on, thank you so much. Really appreciate. So next week I will have another guest, and I'm planning. I'm just gonna put it together, but there's some more interesting discussions we're gonna take in the few weeks to come. But thanks for supporting. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Have a lovely evening. God bless you. Pastor Flores, God bless you, Pastor. You
Thank
blessed us last
you.
week. All right. God bless you. Good night, everyone. Bye.